Hey everyone, Internet Vicious book reader here. Today I want to talk about The Bee Sting by Paul Murray. In The Bee Sting, we follow the Barnes family in a small unnamed city in Ireland. In the next town from where the main characters live, there was a man who nailed the door to his house closed so nobody inside can escape, and then proceeded to end his whole family before ending himself. So yeah, there's definitely a trigger warning for this book. But that doesn't have to do with Elaine and Cass, the two girls who dream of leaving their town and never came back. Unfortunately for them, there's not much chance to do so, maybe from winning Miss Universe since Elaine is beautiful, but according to them, without a tragic background, there is no way that she can become Miss Universe and get the opportunity to be sponsored by a juice company. And to make matters worse for them, since both Elaine and Cass are from a well-off family, the only tragic background for Elaine is growing up in a small city where it's small enough that McDonald's and Starbucks don't even care to open shop at their city. And for Cass, it'll be her eczema, a skin condition that caused both of them to become friends. Cass wishes their family is not that well off so she can relate more to Elaine, which is poorer than her, and her wishes came true. Because of the economic crash, nobody in the town buy cars anymore, so her father's Volkswagen dealership started its gradual decline. Knowing the setup the story started with, it kinda worried me that the father is going to do something horrible, especially as the story keeps pushing Dickie, the father, to desperation. Not only he was not able to live the life he wanted for himself, his business is failing, his wife blames him for not being able to live a luxurious life, and his daughter and son is much too young to offer support, especially Cass with her own teenage problem, where everything feels like they're multiplied by infinity. The only comfort Dickie had is from a handyman named Victor, who listened a bit too much to doomer content that it turns him into a doomsday prepper. So not exactly the best person to have as a company. Just with the first few pages, the book established the characters quite well, especially the first two characters introduced. Elaine is a vapid self-centered person who dismissed other hardship if it didn't benefit her. Meanwhile, Cass is a very insecure person who got really attached to her one and only friend Elaine that she missed all her flaws as a person, or at least the surface version of them. The author wrote such a believable immature teenagers in a way that really tested your patience. If you're an adult with low emotional intelligence that doesn't have the patience to young people being immature and inexperienced, then you will definitely not be able to stand Cass and Elaine. They're frustrating in the most worrying kind of way. Children who are confused of their place in the world, and to counter those insecurities, they live their life like they're invincible. Consequences beat them. It's easy to fault them of their stupidity because it is what they're doing, being stupid and putting themselves in danger. Especially Elaine, who kept bringing the duo to more danger, avoiding adult supervision, going to bars to drink, and going to places with adults that doesn't mind picking up schoolgirls. But it is good to remind yourself on how young these people are, and by default they are unequipped to handle the world. Then we change perspective from Cass to PJ, the youngest of the family, a 12 years old little kid that, like her older sister, is mostly just trying to get away from an unhappy home where their parents are yelling at each other on the daily, missing a time where they were ever a happy family. In the meantime, the town psycho is after him for money. His best friend is the edgy weirdo at school who spent too much time at the adult section of the internet, and the other one is the suspicious dude he befriended on a forum who I'm sure is not a kid. The guy kept encouraging PJ to run away from home. While the kids are annoying, they're kids. As I said, their default is still set on them. So as if the characters are not frustrating enough, the story really tested your patience further when we move perspective to the people who are supposed to be the adult of the family. We see Imelda, the mother, and her backstory, growing up in a poor and abusive household, only ever learn how to take care of herself so she doesn't have the skill to take care of others. And we even get to see Dickie's perspective going through his own struggle along with his own backstory just like Imelda. The smallness of the city took a big part in the story. It is a city that is so small that the only interesting thing happening is a new teacher that teaches poet named Miss Graham. The lady poet who teaches Cass and Elaine Sylvia Plath and poetry, and even this teacher stayed only for a while with one single rumor spread by Cass got rid of her almost as soon as she appeared, which helped emphasize how much rumor took a big part in the city. There is a major theme of an inheritance of pain and trauma told through the family, of how adults who fail at becoming adults raise children to be like them by projecting their own insecurities to them, how immaturity feels like a contagious disease that is inherited through genes after genes. Everyone on the story had a problem that they needed to deal with internally, But instead of processing their traumas and emotion, they each run to their own distractions. Elaine with her clubbing, Cass by clinging on Elaine, PJ to his games and imaginations, Imelda to her shopping, Maurice to his business, Dicky to his doom bunker, a deadly mix of nature and nurture. The book put this aptly. We're all that kind of person, Miss Grant said. We all have problems. But often instead of accepting the truth about ourselves, we cover it up. We try to make ourselves the way we think we're expected to be. So many of the bad things that happen in the world come from people pretending to be something they're not. There is an almost sitcom quality level to the story, and not in a derogatory way of boo sitcom, boo mainstream, boo mid. I'm 38, not 14. What I mean is that there's an aspect to the storytelling that is easy to digest despite the length of the story, which is great because the story is long. The book is more than 600 pages, and you can tell. Some of it was because there are times where the story went on for so long. In chapter 3, where the story is told through Imelda's perspective, there was a flashback to Imelda's past that goes on for 100 pages. It can feel like you're reading a spin-off of the main story in the middle of reading the main story. And another part of it is because there is a doom by the narrative element to the story. There's a certain dread that looms over the family and the story, and it can be emotionally exhausting reading it, especially since you can know from quite early in the story on how it's going to end. And this is more than 600 pages of a story where the characters just refuse to communicate properly, refuse to talk to each other. It's the kind of story where there's really no plot resolution and no character growth. It's just watching this one family in Ireland that wastes themselves to nothingness despite all the potential and chance that they have in life, which is definitely not for everyone. There are a lot about the book that I personally like, but even I feel bored at a big chunks of the book. Sometimes I really wish there's an actual bee that is coming at my eye while reading the book, so just to remind myself that I'm still alive. That's how bored I get at some parts of the book. Everything moves in such a slow pace that the flashbacks seem so long and unnecessary at times, despite how much they tell about the characters at certain point of their life in the past to see how much they have not changed in the present. But this length is mostly not due to a flaw in the writing. It's just the kind of story that is told that needs a slow and steady move into the abyss, because there's a slowness and sureness in Entropy. The story is definitely not for everyone, as I said. It felt almost like an endurance of patience than a regular storytelling. But just like Downfall by Enya Sano that I reviewed a few videos ago, the purpose of the storytelling instead of telling a story about growth is a story about stagnation, and how much stagnation itself is equivalent to decay. There are a lot of opportunities, especially for Dicky and Imelda, to grow since they were an adult already when the story started, but they didn't. They're basically the same person before and after each of their flashbacks and the events there. They refuse to accept and grow from their mistakes, and instead live a life that they don't even want to live. In contrast, one of the characters of the story that has had some growth said this: "Once you take off your mask, it's like all the other masks become transparent, and you can see that beneath our individual quirks and weirdnesses, we're the same. We are the same in being different, in feeling bad about being different. Or to put it another way, we are all different expressions of the same vulnerability and need. That's what binds us together. And once we recognize it, once we see ourselves as a community of difference, the differences themselves no longer define us. That's when we can start to work together and things can change." And you can feel the stubbornness of the characters to not change in the story. You can feel this decay permeates throughout the story, throughout how people like Rose gets older, through the floods that stop the city. Replacing the flood, there's the extreme heat that gets worse throughout the story, through climate change, then through the family growing apart, breaking at the seams, and through peace, on how bees died when they sting and when they mate, as if their way of living only to their death. I give this a 3.75. What do you think? Are you gonna read it? Did I miss anything? Leave your thoughts in the comment below and subscribe to the channel. That's about it.